Hi everyone, it's Fortuna here. Today I'm gonna do a pick a card reading. So today you can pick from pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. Before that, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. For pile 1, we have the bell here. For pile 2, we have the tiger's eye pendant. And for pile 3, we have the obsidian pendulum. Don't overthink about it, just choose whichever pile that you feel calls to. So I'll see you in your pile selection. See ya! Hello pile 1, welcome to the channel. Thank you for being here with me. So if you choose this bell, I can tell that somehow in your life, this is a temple bell. So this is the bell that is given to you as a talisman. So basically, if you are feeling called to this bell, you may need some charm or luck in your life, or probably something with invocation, like praying to God, deity in your life, and something about working with the higher beings. So this is what the bell is about. So let's dive into your reading. Okay, so first thing first, what you're struggling with is the Nine of Wands. So I can see that you are probably struggling, having gone through a lot. You feel exhausted, like you cannot go on any longer. You see, because you see this person, he's all handicapped, but he still keeps going. I feel like you have gone through so much, and right now at this point in your life, you are wondering whether you should go or whether you should give up. So let's pull some clarifier for this card. Oops. What's the Nine of Wands? And what does the spirit guides and your ancestor want you to know about? Sacred space. So sacred space is about finding a room or a place within your home where you can pray. So it is about um, a place where you can retreat. I can see that you might feel quite isolated in your journey where you don't have anywhere you can retreat. So sacred place is calling for you to create an altar within your home, somewhere where you can pray and dedicate yourself, whether to your ancestor, whether to your deity, or whether to your spirit guides, somewhere where you can surrender. Okay, and this is a perspective that you have to consider. Queen of Wands is about creativity, is about what you are passionate about. So here with the Queen of Wands, it is someone who can actually call upon their power from their passion inside. So you have to consider that from how you have been going on this journey for a very long time. You have been drawing upon your full insight. So maybe you can consider using your passion or the energy that you draw upon for something that inspire you, like creativity, like craft. And then you can also consider working with something that makes you feel alive, just to help you keep going in this journey. Let's see the clarification for the Queen of Wands. Okay. So, ancient wisdom. So, see, this Queen of Wands You draw your energy, passion is from ancient wisdom. It is something that is already deep within you, something that you channel from what has been passed down to you from generations behind you. So this is something that has been connected to you from your past ancestor. This is something that you have already known within you. So perhaps you can consider that just because you are tired, you were actually supported in this journey. You actually have people, a team of ancestors behind you, pushing you forward, helping you, assisting you, um, walking with you. You are not alone, you know? And this Ten of Pentacles is the action that you are called upon to take. So the Ten of Pentacles in this deck is very interesting because it's not a typical Ten of Pentacles in a typical deck where it is about family gathering. It's not about money per se. It is about two hands um, reaching out to one another. So I feel like this is about one generation reaching out to another generation. So for me, this is about reaching out to your ancestors. So the action that you are called upon to take in your life now is to reach out to the legacy, to the wealth of knowledge that you have behind you. You know, you have a lot of knowledge that is still waiting to be unlocked. You know, it is up for you to actually reach out to your ancestor, to work with your lineage and heritage. But this is something that you have to consider, to call upon, to actually give you strength to move forward. So let's see what is the clarification card for this. Divine timing. Yeah, so I see that it's a matter of divine timing, that you will feel called upon to reach out to your ancestor. You might receive some signs like seeing some birds, or maybe you'll see some numbers, and maybe there is some inclination for you to actually find out who are your ancestor, who are actually the ancestor in your lineage, who are actually sometimes we have those ancestors who are also witches, who are also healer, who are also medium, who are also psychic. Some of these fall outside of the line. They are actually forgotten. They can be erased. So it's a matter of divine timing for them to reach out to you and for you to reach out to them. So, any last message before we can conclude? Message for pile 1, sexual energy. Interesting. New beginnings and feminine energy. Okay, so new beginning, sexual energy, and feminine energy is an advice about how this is about how you maintain your sensuality for creativity actually. So there's a new beginning awaits for you, and it's also about like how you maintain your feminine energy to balance yourself. So you have to look forward. I know that you are tired and exhausted with the way that life is now, but look forward to new beginnings coming in your life, and then use your creative energy, like maybe channel, because the way our energy, what we do to create, come from the same source, you know. So use it for creativity, for passion, and then make sure it is balanced, both masculine and feminine, so that we could become one in our own body. So that's it for pile one. Thank you. Please leave a comment so that I can know what are your thoughts on this. Hello, pile two. Thank you for being here with me in this channel. So if you feel called to the Tiger's Eye pendant, I have a feeling that you have been anxious a lot, and because this Tiger's Eye is about stabilizing someone, stabilizing you into making an informed decision. So this actually works for people who overthinks a lot. So yeah, you might be overthinking a lot if you are called this pendant. So let's start with your reading. So Page of Pentacles, I can see that you might feel stuck in your situation because you see this person is staring into the key. So you might either be in analysis paralysis, you might procrastinate a lot in what you are doing now, you might have a fear of taking action. There might be something like you keep pondering what you have to do, the right action that you need to take in regards. You might be a chronic overthinker. That could be why you're attracted to the Tiger's Eye pendant. But this is what you are struggling about. So let's pull some clarifier card. See, what does your spirit guides want to say about it? Burden. I think you have a lot of burden that you are carrying, but I don't see that this is your own burden. I see that this is what you are carrying from the past, from what people have put on you subconsciously, what people have. It could be like thoughts, perception, or even like imprints of how other people want you to behave. So you have actually taken on these burdens of perfection, of how you should behave perfectly in front of others, and then make it like your own role to satisfy other people's satisfaction. So this could be what is aiding into your struggle right now. The burden from having to be perfect in front of others, which causes you to overthink, and then making you procrastinate more and not wanting to take action. But all of this, you need to consider that you are just a student in life, you know. Consider the perspective of a page of swords who is just a student in life, who is constantly curious, who is constantly intrigued by learning and wanting to know in life. Consider about being called towards what you are passionate about, because you see this page of swords is opening up to the source. So I see this is what you have you have to consider when you want to overcome the struggle that you are currently facing. The beginner mindset. The beginner mindset is about allowing yourself to make mistakes, that it is okay to make mistake, that is okay, that is fine. If you are wrong, then you can always improve yourself. Let's see the clarifier for this one. What would your guide say about this? Honoring your energy. So yeah, this is perfectly in line. So when you are being a beginner, when you are learning more, you have to honor your energy. You have to completely set your boundary and then not let others drain you. You have to, like these lines are drawn, draw your line with others. Don't let others um don't let others drain you, exhaust you, and always be fair to yourself. Know what you deserve to know what you deserve to have, and always be kind to yourself. Be respectful. While you want to be respectful to others, you always have to be respectful to yourself first. And then the hang one is, of course, in the original RWS tarot is the hangman, and this is about surrendering. So right now you are stuck and you are not being called to take any action, but what you have to do is to surrender and wait. You have to learn to trust the timing of your life. You have to take a deep breath. You have to understand your own energy. You have to learn to pace yourself. Okay? Surrendering is about observing others, observing yourself, and observing how it affects you. That's what the hangman is about. Let's see what's the clarification for the hangman. All right. Sacred energy. So when you are trying to surrender to life, when you are trying to honor your energy, you have to create a sacred space for yourself. Whether you treat your own body as a sacred space where you treat it with honor, where you don't allow others to treat it with disrespect, with whether you don't allow others' negative energy to taint your body, or you have your own sacred space at home where you retreat and then you pray to your ancestor, but you are encouraged to have a space, a private space for yourself, so that you will be able to be calm. It's more like I would say, calm space, like where you can retreat without having any energy, intrusive energy that will intrude your peace. And that space, you can control what goes in, what goes out. That is what sacred space is about. It can be an altar, but it can also just be a room where you dedicate for yourself, just to reflect, just for you to write in journal, just for you to meditate. So whatever it is, that's what you are called to do. So before we conclude this reading, let's look at what are the additional advice that you need to hear. Overcome you feeling stuck. What does Pal 2 needs to hear to overcome their feeling stuck? Reunion of souls. Ancient wisdom. And last one, please. Changes. So I do see that reunion of souls. For some reasons, I am feeling like this is about you. It's giving like you have been detached a lot with your body, and that you kind of like have to go back to your own body to be attached to your body again. It's like your mind, soul, physical body are all in different spaces. So reunion of souls is about attaching all of them back into one unit. That's how it feels to me. And then ancient wisdom is about unlocking what are the knowledge that are unlocked within the generations of your lineage. So this is about, it's related to sacred space. If you do really go deep within meditating at the altar or journaling, you would be able to access the ancient wisdom, probably from praying, from meditating, you see? And then changes is what you will be able to observe once you start doing all of this, taking action. Like slowly going back to moving into your own body, and then observing yourself, observing how it affects you, and then slowly changes will take place. And that's how I see it for you, Paltu. Thank you for being here. I'll see you next time. Hello, Paltree. Thank you for being here. So if you're attracted to obsidian stone here, it feels like you are attracted to, you need some kind of protection, grounding. You might feel a little bit unprotected here. So this might be why you are attracted to obsidian. So let's see what you are currently struggling with. So I can see that with Knight of Pentacles, you might struggle with feeling like life is a chore, life is very dull, and that you have no excitement anymore in life. Yeah, I can feel that. I can feel you sighing. I can feel that you are dreading life, you are dreading work, you are dreading everything in your life right now. It's completely a bore. You're completely bored of everything. Everything is no fun. Yeah, that's what you are currently struggling right now. But let's ask, what is the clarification? What would your guides think about this? Yeah, I know that work can be so dreadful. Let's see what are the clarification for this. Healing energy. Oh, yeah. I do feel that with Knight of Pentacles and the healing energy, you might have absorbed a lot of other people's energy, like to the point where you feel heavy, sluggish. You feel like you cannot move. Like there's so much going on in your body that you cannot process it. That you feel like you lose your motivation in life. But I feel that that's probably why you are attracted to obsidian stone, because you need some healing, you need some cleansing energy, some grounding, some protection work that would ground your energy from absorbing others' energy, negative energy. That could be one of the reasons why you feel you dread life so much. But you do have to consider that, look at the strength that you have portrayed for coming this far in life. You have overcome so much of your fears to come this far in life. Your resilience is actually applauded by your spirit guides. You actually have faced many challenges and battles to have come this far. And it is actually visible from this card that you have to acknowledge of your strength. Without your strength, you would not make it this far. Let's look at the clarification. Again, honoring your energy. Yeah, I've got this from pile 2. So yeah, it's pretty much like pile 2. Not only you have to heal your energy, like probably from absorbing too much energy, you could be like overly sensitive to energy that makes you more prone to being overwhelmed from dreading going to work because you are afraid of how overwhelming the crowd will be, from how overwhelming the energy will be. But this combining strength and honoring your energy is about, you have to honor your strength, that you can overcome this, you can actually learn to cleanse yourself, set your own boundary. Perhaps you can set some affirmation like, I am protected, I am protected. You can recite as many times as you need to. You can recite to yourself, I am protected, I am protected, I am protected. And then you can also use some crystal, like if you're attracted to obsidian, you can work with obsidian. You can use it to clear your energy. This is one way of honoring your energy, I feel like this pile is more on a sensitive, highly sensitive energy type. So you might need to work more on healing your energy and honoring your energy, in a sense of, you have to keep working on increasing your protection so that you will not absorb other people's energy. And then the star, I know that typically the star is about having hope, being optimistic, and yada yada yada. But then I don't see that the star is about, it's not simply as simple as that. but it is also about seeking spiritual guidance. So when you get the star, it's about you reach out. I know it's cliche, but seeking spiritual guidance really should not be looked down upon. You might be at this point in life where you have tried every single thing to help you, but you might find that your life lacks meaning. But then spiritual guidance might be something that you need to work on or work on finding so that it can help you in adding more meaning in your life. So this is what the star is about. I see that you are reaching out to the high above. It could be whatever you want to believe on. Reach out for help. Find a mentor. Find a support group. Find a community where they can help you with finding your own footing back. This is what the spiritual guidance is about. And let's look at what the clarification, transformation. Yeah, I feel like this pile is very big on spirituality, healing energy, honoring your energy, and transformation. So you might feel very you might feel like there's no meaning in life, but that's because you have to heal your energy. And then by honoring your strength and fortitude for coming this far in life, you'll be able to set boundaries for yourself. And that will help you to be able to take action in your life, which is the transformation. The very much transformation that you need is to seek spiritual guidance. It will help you from being in this cocoon phase, you know. Right now, the Knight of Pentacles is you in the cocoon phase. And then later, you will transform into a butterfly. That's how I see it for you, a wake-up call that you need to hear. So before I conclude this reading for pile 3, let's see what additional message that you need to hear before I conclude. Growth. Growth, what else? What does pile 3 needs to hear? Spirit guides and ancestral, what does pile 3 needs to hear? Spirit guides and ancestral, what does pile 3 needs to hear? Pile 3 needs to hear. Union of Souls. Good. Interesting. Yeah, I do see the need for some growth to be done. You are in a growing space. And then Reunion of Souls is about you know how yeah, I also say the same thing to the pile 2. Pile 2 and pile 3 is pretty much similar but quite different in terms of struggle. So you might be detached in your own body, your soul, mind, emotions, physical body might be detached. So you might have to attach them all together to be in one unit. For me, this is what Reunion of Souls could be. You have to work on attaching it all together so that you will be so that you will be able to reunite again with your souls. And then I also see that by the end of it, it will be all good. This is an affirmation that you don't have to worry, that what you are going through is to move you towards transformation. But of course, it will only move you towards transformation if you do take your steps to honor your energy, to honor your strength, and to seek for spiritual guidance. These are the growth that you need to do in order to move forward in your spiritual journey. If you don't do any of it, if you keep being dreadful, if you don't work on healing yourself, you might keep being stuck in this forever. So I hope you understand that, Paltry, and have a good day. I'm going to close out this reading.